Rejoice, my friends, because chapter 180 of One Punch Man has just dropped, and of course this one's yet another banger as we get the continuation of Saitama versus Tatsumaki. Things started to definitely escalate in the previous chapter where we saw Tatsumaki create this massive tornado of psychic energy, but we see the battle get taken elsewhere in this chapter because we pick up pretty much where we left off at the end of chapter 179, where Tatsumaki's just telling Saitama to leave Fubuki alone and to forget about her, and Saitama's just thinking about going home and just saying screw it to all of this. Well, it appears that Tatsumaki's not finished with him yet because she tries to throw some psychic pressure at him, and Saitama attempts to brace himself to kind of, weather the blow and not get blown back again, but it ends up blowing off his jacket, and it causes Saitama to freak out a little bit as he says, "Oh no, my jacket, ah." But nevertheless, he still gets knocked back several times by Tatsumaki, and we're gonna find out really soon how far he gets blown back because we then get taken to End City, where we stumble across what seems to be kind of like the climax scene of this little sub-story that's going on here, where we see A-class hero Feather. If you guys remember him from the Monster Association raid, he apparently infiltrated the Iron Fist evil organization that's the biggest gang in End City, and apparently the reason that he did this was to save some woman named Erica that claimed to be trapped or held hostage by these guys, but we're gonna come to find out that that's not the case in a second. They think Feather's pretty stupid for coming by himself just to save a woman, and he asks if she's okay. Well, one of them says, "All right, Erica, come out," and it turns out that she was faking it the entire time because she's actually the girlfriend of the boss of the Iron Fist gang, Big Iron, and apparently they sent her out to him to kind of pretend to be this weak woman that's in danger for him to come by himself and get taken out easily. And apparently the plan worked because here he is heavily damaged and seemingly about to be taken out by these guys, and she says that she can't believe that he fell for her terrible acting. Well, she turns around and he says, "Yeah, you are a terrible actor," because it looks like she's crying, so the implication here is that she's lying about, betraying him, and she really does want to be rescued, but she's kind of putting an act on for all of these guys in the Iron Fist gang. Well, this is when the boss shows up, A-class bounty Big Iron, and he decides to take Feather out right then and there. Well, Feather suddenly gets very heroic and says, "I'm relieved there's no hostage. That means I don't need to hold back. I'm a hero, and this is my climax." And funnily enough, as soon as he says this, Saitama bursts through the wall and just straight up knocks him the F out. Like, totally knocks him out clean. And Saitama, of course, unaware of the whole situation, says that, he's sorry that he broke their wall and that Tatsumaki will cover the repair costs. And he even goes as far as to tell someone to call an ambulance because he sees that, him bursting through the wall knocked out a bunch of people. And he kind of starts scolding Tatsumaki again and says, "Look what you did. Don't you know that throwing people through buildings is dangerous?" And she's like, "Oh, well, you're the one that flew into the building." And as they're bickering, Big Iron tries to interrupt them and get rid of Saitama because he thinks he's a small fry. But of course, our boy Saitama just one-shots him through a wall, leaving all the Iron Fist members just at a loss for words. So they get enraged and try to attack Saitama and Tatsumaki, and all Tatsumaki says is, "You guys are being annoying. Don't you see we're in the middle of something here?" And they off-panel make quick work of the entire organization. And instead of thanking Feather for saving her, she actually becomes like a Tatsumaki fangirl and suggests that she should send her a fan letter at some point. And Feather's just like, "You know what? I'm just gonna go home and forget all about this." So we then move on to 8th City, where apparently there's this giant disaster level dragon monster, Needle Point Mouse, attacking the entire city, and it's on such a rampage that it's destroyed a good portion of the city and completely defeated all the heroes and the police officers in the area. Well, apparently Metal Bat is on his way there to help save the day, and he's pretty much like their last hope. And seeing as how he's not some super powered Esper or somebody that can like jump super high like Saitama, he's literally just running there like any other person would, and he's freaking out himself, not because of the monster, but because his cat's about to give birth, and the Hero Association called him like just as this was about to happen. So he's, pretty pissed about that, but he wants to take out all of his anger on the monster. And as he's kind of declaring this, like he's gonna beat the crap out of the monster to take his anger out on it, out of nowhere we get Saitama and Tatsumaki blowing through the head of the monster and like right out of its eyeball and killing it instantly. Like, this is how powerful this battle is between these guys. Like, the collateral damage is resulting in the deaths of, these dragon level monsters and these criminal organizations. Like, they're not even paying them any mind. They're not even the main focus of this entire altercation, which I think is freaking hilarious. Well, of course, Metal Bat gets all worked up that, he came all this way just to not do anything and have to go back home, but he tries to calm himself down and he's like, "All right, you know what? My cat's giving birth, so that's all I care about right now." But we end this chapter with Tatsumaki and Saitama having, another quick exchange where Tatsumaki's saying, "Damn, why haven't you gone down already? Like, why haven't you died yet?" what? And Saitama just responds by saying, quit destroying everything. There's a reason why we went outside. And that's where the chapter ends. So we're going to be getting some more Tatsumaki and Saitama battling going on here. And I'd assume that we're probably looking at another 2 chapters of this at most, you know, maybe 3, who knows? Maybe, you know, One and Murata decide to add some content that's different than the webcomic here. But if things are following the webcomic like they have been lately, I'm not going to spoil anything here, but we're probably going to be getting one of my favorite sequences in the entire battle next chapter. So I'm very, very excited to see what happens and how Murata adapts it, because it's awesome to see and it's freaking hilarious. That's all I'm going to say. But what did you guys think about this chapter? How do you guys think Tatsumaki versus Saitama has been going so far? Have you been enjoying it? What do you guys think of the inclusion of that little side story with Feather and End City? Do you guys think it was funny? Do you guys not really like it? Do you not care about it? Whatever. Let me know in the comments below. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video, because I definitely enjoyed reading the chapter and I enjoyed making it. So I hope you have an absolutely wonderful day, and this video made it just a little bit better, and I'll see you guys in the next one.